Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching the Political Vigilante. Tim Stack has been supporting the show at patreon.com// Graham Elwood since the beginning, and we appreciate that, Tim. The neoliberal era is ending. What comes next? It's a very extensive article, and I will put it in the show notes for you to read. But basically, it talks about how the pandemic has shown, I've been talking about this on the show for a while since it started, all of the failings of neoliberal policies. All privatization of all of this, for-profit healthcare, and we're seeing it. It's a hellscape. And not just countries like the US, where it's the worst, but also in the UK. The UK. I saw John Pilger on RT talking about Brits have been, the British neoliberal government since Tony Blair has been getting rid of hospital beds, and it's coming to the chickens are coming to roost. I've talked about Cuomo, the governor of New York City, 20,000 hospital beds he's gotten rid of over the last 10 years. Oh, he made it a lot worse. More people died in New York City because of that. It's all coming home to roost. All that, like, how are we going to pay for it? How are we going to pay for it? That all is like, oh God, we need money now. Real conversations are happening now. People talking about UBI and socialism and all this stuff. Because everyone's seeing, even the libertarians and all that, everyone's going, wow, this system does not work. Just selfish, for-profit, everything. We're all being crushed. We're seeing who essential workers are. They're not hedge fund managers. They're not billionaires. They're not stockbrokers. Essential workers are people that load trucks and, work in ERs and, are healthcare workers and EMTs and grocery store employees. And that's who an essential worker is. Not some guy that knows how to cook the books and, give profits for his Ivy League buddies. But it's starting to sink in. Even the financial sector is beginning to realize this. On April 4th, 2020, the British-based Financial Times published an editorial likely to be quoted by historians for years to come. And let's be real clear, the Financial Times is not some socialist, DSA. It is capitalist to the core. And here's what the editorial board said. In April, radical reforms reversing the prevailing policy direction of the last 4 decades will need to be put on the table. Governments will have to accept a more active role in the economy. Yeah. People are losing, their unemployment's ending. The $600 is done. They're talking about giving you $400, but that was just a stunt by Trump. No one's gotten that money yet, to my knowledge. I certainly haven't. What are they doing? What are we going to do? They evicted a woman who had COVID-19. They evicted her, kicked her out of her house. The evictions are coming. It's the tip of the iceberg. Then what? Government shut us down, told you can't work, you can't go outside, you can't travel. All my road dates were canceled. We've all lost work because of this in one form or another. And then said, here's some unemployment, which is, all right, some people got unemployment. I know friends who haven't gotten it yet. We got one $1,200 check. Most people I know have been getting unemployment, but I still know some people didn't qualify, never got it. A buddy of mine's got 3 kids, 3 small kids, and he's like, I'm running out of savings, Graham. They told me I didn't qualify. It's insane. They must see public services as investments rather than liabilities. Again, this is the British Financial Times. And look for ways to make labor markets less insecure. Redistribution will again be on the agenda. The privileges of the elderly and wealthy in question. That's big. That's significant. Because it's one thing if my show's talking about this and socialists and, Richard Wolff and all that. That's great. That's great. But when a mainstream financial publication that is all free market capitalism, it's so great. And then they're like, oh God, this is crushing people. Policies until recently considered eccentric, such as basic income and wealth taxes, will have to be in the mix. Remember a year ago we started talking, 2 years ago we started talking about UBI in this show, and oh, they're all, you're nuts, you're crazy, you lefty progressives, pie in the sky, and your purity tests and everything. Oh, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Wait a minute now. Yeah. We are facing 25 to 30% unemployment. The economic collapse hasn't even hit this country yet. Right now it's being propped up, but it's going to crush hard. And the 28 million evictions that are looming, in the next 6 to 12 months, it's going to be, let's not forget, the Great Depression, when the stock market crashed in whatever it was, October of 1929, it didn't just immediately, oh, the stock market crashed and all of a sudden there were soup lines. No, it took a while to sink in. Within a year or 2 years, it was brutal. It was horrible. People had to sell their kids. I mean, it was awful. Crime went up. It was brutal. We're going to go through that again? So FDR came in with a New Deal, and then the minute he got out of office, that's why it's so insane to me when people are like, oh, we'll pull Joe Biden to the left. Really? You didn't pull Truman to the left? Kennedy wasn't in office long enough to be pulled too much to the left. They put a bullet in his head. He was already pretty left. His brother tried to run. They put a bullet. LBJ, you couldn't pull him to the left. He started all these, he was elected on all these lefty policies, and they pulled him to the right when he got in office because of the Vietnam War. Jimmy Carter was pretty left. He did one term. Bill Clinton, you didn't pull Bill Clinton to the left. Didn't pull Barack Obama to the left. What makes you think Joe Biden, who has a history of being a centrist, he's basically a Republican, what makes you think you're going to pull him to the left? It's never going to happen. We'll get him in there, and then we'll just pull him to the left. It's never going to happen. A journalist who has written for the paper since 1986, the Financial Times has advocated free market capitalism with a human face. This, from the editorial board, sends us in a bold, new direction. I'm all for it. Get rid of neoliberalism. The article goes into, I'm going to touch on it, the kind of history of what got us into neoliberalism. And it's a lengthy article. I suggest reading the whole thing, and I appreciate Tim Stack sending it. Tim, you send us great stuff, and you've been supporting the show since day one, and I really appreciate it. In 1947, a small think tank established in the Swiss village of Montpellier, the Montpellier Society was made up of self-proclaimed neoliberals. After the war, most politicians and World War II they're talking about, espoused the ideas of John Maynard Keynes. Talk about Keynesian, I don't know how to pronounce the name, but I heard this Keynesian economics, right? British economist and champion of a strong state, high taxes, and a robust social safety net. That's what FDR gave us with the New Deal. A strong safety net, Social Security, all Medicare, all that stuff. We've got no safety net now. Imagine if we had all free health. We need free health care now. We need Medicare for all. It's just, we can't have this in a pandemic. A woman got evicted because she had high medical bills because she had COVID-19, and they just evicted her. The cops came in and kicked her out. Nice, sweet old lady, kicked her out. Cops didn't give a shit. Cops could have said no. I'm just doing my job. That's what the Nazis said. So you have no backbone, you have no soul, and you're just following orders like a jackboot thug. So one of these economists in this new neoliberal society, was this guy Friedman, was an evangelist of free market principles. You know, free market capitalism, the thing that has caused all of our problems today. He believed in the primacy of self-interest. Whatever the problem, the solution was simple. Out with government, long live business. Good luck if you fall on hard times. That's what a government actually is supposed to do. The government is supposed to provide a safety net. We're talking about, oh, the post office isn't turning a profit. It's the postal service. It's a service. Is the fire department supposed to turn a profit? Are libraries supposed to turn a profit? Are grade schools supposed to turn? Are parks turning a profit? No, they're services that make our society better. All of this stuff has been taken away. We're really seeing what's important in our society. We're all disconnected. Like, I went out and had dinner with friends. It was outside. We had masks on. We were sitting 6 feet apart. And it was nice. It was to hang out, but I'm still like, well, what do I... So we see this is what's important in society, not private. Oh, the stock market's doing great. Is that benefiting any of us? And all these, and this article goes into it, all these big businesses, that's the thing. We have rugged capitalism. The ruling class, the 1%, they get socialism. All these companies got money from the CARES Act, these big billion-dollar companies, Elon Musk, all these people. Amazon doesn't pay any taxes. But we don't have money for free college. We don't have money for Medicare for all, but the defense industry gets whatever they want, whenever they want. Yeah, the post office isn't profitable. Is the military? The military loses trillions of dollars. Is anyone screaming to shut down the military? Are park rangers turning a profit? I mean, I could go on and on. Do the street cleaners turn a profit? Do the garbage collection guys, are they making is that a profitable business? Come on. But back to the history of it. One by one, state-owned enterprises the world over were privatized. Unions were curtailed and social benefits were cut. This started in the United States in the 70s. Reagan was so anti-union. 12 years of Reagan and Bush, and who came in to save the day? Bill Clinton, who was just a half an inch to the left of the Republican Party, and said this in the State of the Union address in 1996. Clinton, president of the time, pronounced the era of big government is over. And who cheered? Wall Street and suckers. People who love voting against their own interests. The left is fond of saying all these Trump supporters vote against their own interests, and they absolutely do. But so do the neoliberals. You really think Joe Biden, he doesn't want to defund the police. He doesn't want you to have Medicare for all. He's never going to give you UBI. Nancy Pelosi has voted down UBI and Medicare for all. And then there was the big 2008 financial crash. And you would have thought we would have learned by then all these bailouts to keep the banks going. But American citizens, we had, initially it was thought to be 5.2 million foreclosures. Then it was like 6. Now the numbers are coming out. It's the long-term effect is looking like 8 million foreclosures, my home being one of them, from the 2008 crash. That is going to be a drop in the bucket compared to what's going to happen now. September 15, 2008, the U.S. bank Lehman Brothers unchained the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression, when massive government bailouts were needed to save the so-called free market. It seemed to signal the collapse of neoliberalism. Nope, thanks to Obama, he kept it going. According to the British Central Bank, the United Kingdom today is on the eve of the largest recession since the winter of 1709. In the space of just 3 weeks, nearly 17 million people in the United States applied for economic. This is in April. This is the April number. Now it's in the 30 mil. 30, we're close to, it's double that. Easy. So these older folks, the baby boomers, even people in my generation, the Gen Xers and everybody still thinks free market capitalism is going to... It doesn't matter what you think, because the youth, millennials and Gen X, more young Americans have a favorable view of socialism than of capitalism. Something that would have been unthinkable 30 years ago. And I've said that before on this show. People openly calling themselves socialists. Kshama Sawant would not have been allowed to exist 30 years ago. There's no way she would have made it to the Seattle City Council 30 years ago. There's just no way. People would have been like, no way. Now she's like leading the charge. The Democratic Socialists of America wouldn't be opening up more chapters in Texas 30 years ago. There's no way. No, people were afraid to say they were openly socialist. And crazy old people that watch Fox News, and even, wealthy upper middle class neoliberals think socialism, oh, tell me one time socialism has worked, they always say. It's from that conviction that all the rest can follow: a government based on trust, a tax system rooted in solidarity, and the sustainable investments needed to secure our future. That's what we need. Neoliberalism is dying, hopefully for good. Bury it. Cover it deep in the earth. Never let it come back. We're seeing how we need each other. You think you don't care? You're not going to speak up when your neighbor gets evicted by the police? Well, they're going to come evict you, man. You're some, conservative, and you think it's that those liberals in Portland got the shit kicked out of them, and unmarked vans scoop people up. They'll scoop you up. They won't care if you have a MAGA hat. They won't care if you have an I'm with her hat. They won't care. They're going to scoop you up. We have an authoritarian government. A 4 decades corporate coup has happened in this country. 4 decades long this has been going on, and now it's collapsing. So you think there's going to be some miracle vaccine and everybody goes back to work and the economy's saved? Even if that happens, it's going to take forever for this economy. The Great Depression lasted for 10 years. And then we went right into World War II. Does that sound fun? Doesn't to me. Retake our government. Start at the local level. Go to draftjesse.com. See what's going on there. Wake up. These two parties don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. They want you to support them just like a sports team does. Buy their jersey, donate, whatever. Your team's better than their team. That's what they want you to do. Wake up. But that's why you come to this show. Maybe this is your first time coming over here. Wake up. Keep your mind open. Both parties hate you. Both parties hate you. They hate you. They hate you. And they think you're a sucker when you vote for them and give them money. They think they go to the rallies, Trump, Biden, whatever, and afterwards they go, look at these idiots out there. That's how they talk about you. They hate you. They think you're stupid. They do. They do. That's why you come here. Get the truth. Shave your knuckles for justice. Boom. Hey everybody, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification button and the subscribe button, even if you've done it before, because they're unsubscribing, many of you, every day. Watch the ads all the way through. If you click skip ad, I don't get paid. Also, support us at patreon.com/Graham Elwood or rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. Rockfin.com is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. All my videos are on Rockfin ad-free. Thanks for watching.